Hello, my friends. Let's all come in. I want to invite all of you today to come in and let's have a moment together with Moment with Celeste. And I am so thrilled. I'm just going to wait for a minute or two to give my dear friend Ollie an opportunity to pull me in. I was a couple of minutes late, so I'm sorry, Ollie. And pull me in to stream me live on Lolly and Friends page today. And I am so thankful to Ollie for giving me the opportunity to be her VIP presenter for today. And I hope I serve it well. So we're just going to keep an eye here. I'm going to refresh my page over here and make sure that I'm there, okay? And so if you see me, if you can make sure to come in and say hello, I would appreciate that. And let's see if we can get us all put together here today. Let's see here. Give it a second here. Hello, Magnolia on Madison Creations. Welcome. Hello, I'm from Arkansas. That's pretty awesome. Hi, sweetie sister. You are in the group. Thank you so much, Ollie. I am looking forward to this. I've been looking forward to this for quite a little bit here. And I'm just trying to see if I can get it to pull up here on my page. So there we go. So it's easier for me to see your comments. So let's see, we have Magnolia on Madison Creations, and we have Lori Ann Curry from North Carolina, and Mary Ferguson. Hello, everybody, and welcome in. I am Celeste for Moments with Celeste, and I am here in Omaha, Nebraska, right in the middle of it all. And I just love being able to have these opportunities to share with a wider spectrum and get to know more of you. I do invite you, first of all, if you're not joining, if you're not a member of Lolly's Crafty Designs and Lolly and Friends page, I invite you to join that. It's a wonderful group. My friend Ollie, I met her several months back before she had started her page here with her Lolly and Friends, I believe it was. And we just kind of have our kindred spirits. We both love the Lord and just love to have the opportunities to be able to come on. Hello, Whispering Hope Kids Creations and Zoe Zimdar's Black. It's nice to see you. And today we are going to do a little special journal, and I'm so glad that Ollie gave me an hour and 15 minutes because usually I don't get that much unless I'm on my own page, of course. So say hi if you're here, but we are going to go with fall today. And I loved Ollie's little flyer that she put together with the sunflowers because I am a sunflower girl. I love sunflowers. I do. Can you tell? So I've got all my sunflowers all spread out here around me. My table is just covered with fall goodness. So today, the highlight of my time here with you today is this pretty little kind of a faux leather, I think it's actually called a passport folio, that I had purchased at a wonderful shop here in Omaha called Scrapbooking Haven, and Scrapbook Haven, and she has all kinds of wonderful pieces. So when I saw this, I had to grab it because I love this. I don't know if you can even see the little pattern, it's kind of on there. And then it has this band on here that is what's going to be our closure. And then what I did before we came on today, hello, you gotta have that? Well, I'm glad you gotta have that. Speaking of gotta have that, I am having a sale on my page here on Moments with Celeste this Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. So invite you guys to join me. And if you're not currently following Moments with Celeste, I'd love to have you be one of my new followers. So invite you to do that as well. But this here is a fun little booklet, and you can see this middle piece. So this is going to be a journal. I want to make sure I get the right in the side here. I came in before I got started today, and I'm just going to pull one of these out. So I just took some cardstock, some cream colored cardstock, and I kind of eyeballed to see what the actual dimensions of this would be. But this is fun because this especially is a good little journal to use if you are new to journaling and just not quite sure about sewing in bindings and sewing in the seams and things. This one here is, I cut 10 pieces of paper and I folded them in half. So what I have here in this first little rubber band piece of elastic is 5 sheets folded in half. So let me get them here. So make sure I got the right ones. And there we go. That's okay. That's where it ended. So this here, you have 5 sheets. And like I said, these were about 5.5 by 4 inches is how I cut these. So I have one signature all put together here in this first elastic band, and then came over here and it ended because I have in my papers, I have also rotated through some pieces of fabric, the exact same size, and these are just going to add a little more funness to this little journal. So you see how I did that? So we've got 5 papers, and then I have about 4 different pieces of fabric that are the same size that I cut that fit into this little book. So there's my first signature right here. And then the second signature, and I don't know what this little extra piece is here, but I'm going to figure out something to do with it. And then the second signature, I have them all tucked away in this. So you see we have some that were the papers and some that were fabric strips, because this is going to just scream fall today. So 2 signatures is what we had. There's one signature here, and then we have one signature here. And what I'm going to do to start with, the Treasure Trunk by Kimmy. Hi, welcome. Daryl Griffith, hello my dear friend. Thank you. This one here is kind of one of those little bulky ones that I kind of liked. It's kind of got all kinds of little ruffly things. So, love watching Junk Journal Creations. So, hopefully you're going to be able to find some things that you enjoy today about this. But again, this is a little passport folio size that I'm turning into a special little journal for the fall. And we got our papers already put in there. And we're going to go through now, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to start. So this is the front of my book. So what I want to do here on the front is, and you can see this was the band that's going to be our holding it all together, is I have put together a few things that I thought were really pretty to use on the cover of my journal. So I have this coffee stained crocheted trim. And what I'm going to do with this, I have to decide which way I wanted to lay it. But it's going to go on here as a cover. And if I put it this way over here, I can do that, but this one here has more grunginess. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to start by, I'm going to put some glue on this up here around the top, down the side, and around the bottom, and up the side, but I'm going to leave the middle open. And to glue this down, I'm going to use this Fabri-Tac. And I'm going to just go down here. It is going to cover up some of the prettiness of the cover of this, but we'll be able to see it in other ways. So that's kind of what I decided I wanted to do. So we're going to go right up to the edge here. Get that pressed in place. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do a squirt along the bottom. I'm going to do a little spot here so that this little ragged piece will hold on tight. Okay. Then I'm going to come around here and we're going to put this little piece, get that adhered on. Come up here and do this little spot. I just thought this little piece of crocheted, it was actually a square doily that I cut apart, and I used it for a lot of different things. And so I'm not going to do this yet because I might come back and just use this for a little tuck spot. But we'll get this on. And let's see, I don't think, yeah, I can probably go ahead. Be safe to put some up here. Okay. That all pressed in, so you'll see there's your front. And this here I have left open down inside of here because I may decide to use that as a little tuck spot. So what I want to do here is I do want to put a little bit of glue on this little piece that's hanging out so that it just kind of stabilizes that. You see that? And oh, thank you, Renee. I appreciate you. And I always encourage people to, if you see people that are on here that have business pages, to give them a follow. Whispering, let's see, Magically Rustic Designs Crafting is Renee. And she does some cute, fun things. I don't know if I have anything yours today on this project or not, Renee, but I do use her pieces a lot. So we've got that. There's my front cover, but I'm not done because I pulled some other things here that we're going to put on the front. Okay? So we have this cute little mum paper flower. She's going to go on here. I made this cute little tag and it just says Colors of Fall. And it's going to go on here. And then I take, I had a square doily that was full of these type of little circles and little pieces, and I've cut them all out and I've put them in my little doily jar that I use for little embellishments. So I went and took some of my distressed ink and I distressed this up to make it a little bit darker. And then I have this piece. This is one of my favorite go-tos, is this kind of grassy ribbon they sell at Hobby Lobby. You can get it in the brown or the green. I'm going to use brown today. And then I have been hanging on to this little piece for quite some time. And this is just a vintage piece of, it's kind of a wrapped wire, kind of a gold piece. It almost looks like a ring. So, you know, but it's not a ring per se, but you definitely could call it that. Hi, Jenny. How are you, my friend? And I tied a little piece of some muslin up here. And we're going to put this together to make it be a little centerpiece. So, let's see here. There's my top. Here's my bottom. I'm just going to start building this. And I thought about, I don't know if I'm going to, yes I am. I just talked myself into it. I had some of this gold cheesecloth. Hi, Carol. Happy Monday to you too, my friend. Hi, Tammy. Hello, Jill. I had to come back on from Paige. I lost you. Oh, I'm glad you found me, Jill. I'm glad you found me. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I may put this piece here, and I don't want to use a whole lot of glue, because if I do, I'll probably lose my possibility. But this is so pretty that if I don't have a pocket here on the front, I'm going to be totally okay with this. So let's get this little piece just kind of smushed on here. I'm just doing this to add a little more color and dimension, okay? So if you can see that. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to take this grassy piece. I'm just going to keep layering, so find a piece here that's going to be able to help me to hold it in place. That's the only thing bad about this grassy ribbon, because it's hard to get to stick. You have to get it right on the right spots. So this one I'm going to take, and I'm just going to put it kind of at a little angle. Okay. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to put this little flower, paper flower mum on there. It's kind of a rust color. Now I am going to put some glue on there just to reinforce this right in here. And I think I'm going to move this over. I'm not going to have it be like right in the center. But let's see what happens here. I'm going to put in this little doily piece. I think I'll bring this one, kind of tuck it up under here a little bit. Just layers and layers and layers, okay? Because they're all a little bit different color. Then I have this sweet little vintage kind of a wire wound ring with a little bow. Hello, Gail. Nice to see you today. Come on in and let's have a good time together. Well, Gail, okay, so you're new. This is the first timer, huh? Well, you make sure you follow Moments with Celeste and follow Lolly's page here, and then everybody is going to be happy. Then I made that cute little, it says Colors of Fall. And I think what I'm going to do is just tuck it up under here, and we'll just see what this looks like. There isn't any rhyme or reason other than I love to do layers and layers and layers, and I love chunkies and chunkies and chunkies. So we're going to do that there. Pull that little ribbon down so you can see everything. And now we have the front cover all finished up that quickly. What do you think of that? Isn't that pretty? I just love the fall colors, guys. I really do. Now, we're going to smash that down. And I'm going to put a little reinforcement here with some of my hot glue, just so that when I'm moving this around right now, it's going to all stay put. Because I don't want it all falling off on me and having to do it all over again. Okay. So there we've got that first page. Now we're going to go inside and we're going to start gluing in these pieces of fabric. So like I said, I took 5 half sheets of my cream colored cardstock, and then I cut it, I layered them together, and then I cut them down to fit the inside of this little book. I didn't want it all hanging over. I don't want it all being too short, so I did that. Then I thought I was going to add some pieces of fabric, and I was so blessed to come across a bunch of fabric that I got, and I took them and I cut them the same size as I've cut the papers. So I took my 5 pieces, folded each of them in half meticulously. I folded them individually, and then I did the bone folder on them because I want them to be exactly perfect, okay? So then after I did that, then I opened them up and I laid them under each other, and I shoved them all under this one piece. So I layered the fabric, I rotated the fabric and the paper. And then I put them all under this one piece of elastic. So that was my first signature. And then I went back here and I did the same thing. I did the same amount. Cut me some more papers because you can see there's the middle. And then I did the same thing here. And there's my second signature. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to glue down my fabrics on the pages that I have put them where they're going to be on top of the paper. Now these are fun to do too. If it was a little bit thicker fabric, I could have just left them and not had to put them down. But this will keep them in place, per se, is what I'm trying to say here, instead of flopping all over. So just going to go in and add a little color. Love to add textures to my journals. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. That pressed down. Isn't that a pretty one? Look at that color. I just love that. Hello, Tina. Thanks for coming in today for our little journal making project. Okay. I cannot get over how much I love the colors of these fabric pieces. So then see here, so then I slid it under, so now this is going to come back here, so you can see I have the front side of that fabric, or that first half is on this side, then I slipped it under that elastic so that when it comes out, it's going to be on this side. So you could just play around with it. It may take a few little times of pulling them in and out to get it to look like you want. But wouldn't this be cute for even a little Christmas journal? You could put some Christmas colors in there. Let's see here. So not every page is going to have the fabric on it, because I've got lots of other goodness that I want to put in here. Okay, I'm going to straighten that out. You'll notice that I have some of them that aren't clear to the edge, and that's totally fine with me. See? Come over here. This is actually really fun, you guys, to do this with this fabric. This is the first time I've done that. Now I've used fabric to maybe decorate like one page of a journal, but to make them actual pages, this is actually fun. Hi, I really like how this looks. Fall is my favorite season. Mine too, Floyce. I love the fall. Love it. And then look at this one. So I found a little shop in a small town. It's about 30 some miles from me. And they had little bags of just all kinds of snippets, pieces of fall colors. And some of them they actually had, some of them had like 2 pieces, 2 yards of fabric. So I'm going to be making up a bunch of, I've already got some of them made, I didn't bring them in. Here's just a little sample. I'm going to be making up, I've already started a bunch of these strips, fabric strips in these fall colors. And these are going to be put together as bundles. And I will have these on sale, on my sale this Thursday night on my Moments with Celeste page. So those come in handy because I pulled these because I'm going to be using them in here today. Okay, this one here is just a cream piece. It has a little flower on it, kind of a little piece of muslin. Hi Peggy, how are you, my friend? Oh, I'm glad you love this, Peggy. I am going to have a few journals too that I will be selling, so that'll be fun, right? Okay, I'll put that there. I'm going to come in here and we're going to do this one. Now, if I wanted to, I could have easily just done this whole thing. Instead of using this cardstock paper, I could have just used some of my printed fall scrapbooking papers. Very easily could have done that, but I really wanted to add some texture to this today. Look how pretty that little cord there looks in there. Going to ask you, how many of you, Celeste, do your leaves change colors there? They do. Thank goodness they do, or I would just curl up in a fetal position, I think. They do. And in fact, we are so blessed because right outside my window here, so we live in an apartment. We've been here a long time. We love it. And right across the little thing here is all of our garages for just this little building. And then behind it, there are, I believe it's 8 maple trees that go the whole distance of this, that are actually our neighbor that lives up there in the house. And when I first moved in here, and the very first fall, I just said, thank you, Lord. You knew that I loved these fall colors. So in the fall time, on our patio here, when I wake up in the morning, if my husband's up before I am and he's pulled the shades, that orange glow fills my whole room. And I just love it. So now we get fall colors, but we do not get the fall colors that all of my wonderful friends do up there in those northeastern states. Oh my word. That is amazing, and I can't wait to get back up there again to do a fall foliage tour. So this one's a little long, so I'm just going to crimple it up a little bit. I just love it. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. How long does it take for fabric tack to dry? It's fast. See, now I can already go start working on this. Okay, it's fast. It just depends. I think it was Gail that asked. Was it Gail, or I gotta have that? I gotta have that. What's your first name? Then look, I'm going to take this cheesecloth here and I'm going to put that on this page over here. So I don't put it on real thick. It looks like I'm putting it on thick, but I'm not. What I do is I rub the tip of my applicator here right on the page, so it just gives a really thin coat. And then now I'm going to put this cheesecloth on here. Open this up. Okay, and then I'm just going to layer that in here so it has the texture, and that I use the whole piece that I had. Stretch it. That is so pretty. Oh, I love these fall colors so much. Just makes my heart happy. Truly, truly does. And I'll come up here and put a little, and I might even just leave a little bit hanging up over the edges. We'll see if I come back and fix that or not. But I like that shabby look. Okay. Now I can feel a little bit of it on here. Tina, do you sew the fabric with your signature pages? I don't. This whole book is nothing but glue. I don't have a single sewed stitch in here. Okay? So this is a really great one to get if you're looking for something to play around with, to do something like this. Okay, so we've got that. Now, I'm going to go back up now, and I'm going to do the back first, because I'm going to put my other piece down here, and I'm just going to, I was so glad that I had enough to do both pieces. On both sides with this fun little coffee stained ecru trim. Okay, and I'm going to just dab it. Dab, dab, dab. And like I said, I didn't even need to put anything on this beautiful backing and the front piece. But again, my infatuation I have with layers kind of made the decision for me. Okay, so there's the back. Here's the front. Here's the back. Now we get to go in and start the fun, some more fun stuff. Oops, I brought this. Okay, I'm going to see how I want to do this. Now, I have so many options, you guys. I do know that back here on one of these pages that had the cream or the muslin, this one here, I know I want to take this. I made this little card. Can you see that? So this was a piece of cardstock that I just ripped out. And then I had this sticker of this house, and I'm going to show you some of these stickers. And then this here, I made a little blue jean denim little knot. And then I put some coffee stained cheesecloth on that. And then I took some Distress ink and just went around and grunged that up. But isn't that precious? I love that. Then I thought what I'd do on this page here, and I have to decide if I want to put it on this side where the fabric's at, or just lay it over here. I'm going to put it over here because you know why? This can make a belly band. So if you don't know what a belly band is, you're going to learn. It's just a strip of fabric or a piece of ribbon. And I'm going to tie it to the top up here. Just the top, because I want to leave the bottom loose. I'm going to pull it really tight. You guys see this? And then I'm going to put this down here. And hold that down for a second for the, give that fabric tack a chance to dry. Get a little straight. And then I'm going to take my cutesy little house and I'm going to put this right in the middle of this belly band. And then, if for some reason, whoever ends up having this book at some point, they want to use this, I'll show you what I mean by a belly band in case you don't know. So you just take a little card, you take a cut card, and I gotta let that dry first. But anyway, you can just tuck it under here, and then you've got, now I've got two cards there. Okay? See that? So, but I don't want to put that there yet. I want that to dry. Okay, so there's that page. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to grunge a little bit. Because I am a grungy sort. Did you sew the fabric with your signatures? Okay, so now I'm just going to go around my pages with my distressed ink. And this is kind of, this one here was a tea stain. And I'm going to do this all the way around on here. And I really like that on this color, of this color theme. See there? Just grunge the edges a little bit. So we've got that one. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to go back here to the beginning. And I have to figure out what I want to do here, because I have so much cuteness. Now, this is something I really want to put on. It was too big for the pages. See, if I put it on the page, it really does cover the whole page. So I thought about, well, I could take it here, and I could put it inside the cover, because I have a little more room. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. I just love this little, it was like a toddler-sized pocket off of a pair of jeans. If you're not using your old pair of jeans for your junk journals, you're missing it. Because I want to show you. I cut them up and I'm using them for all kinds of good things. I cut these little, the belt loops off, and we'll probably use a couple of those in this too. But I love using old pairs of jeans. So, you know, I got those at the Goodwill. You can get them at your little garage sales and things like that. So let's see. I got to decide if I want him in the front or if I'm just going to tuck it in the back. Let me see where I think it's going to... Oh, I forgot a page there. It might actually look better to finish it off here in the back. I think I'll do that. I'm going to put this here in the back. And this is going to be a pocket. Because look at there, I got that little pocket. So I'm going to glue the top part down. And this little pair of pockets, it had the little metal studs in them. Just run my fabric tack real close to the edge. I don't want it spilling over into the, whoops, yep, that's right. So I scared myself to death. Okay. So got that down, and then here's where the little pocket is going to be for the tuck card. Okay, so we'll wait till we get through to see what else I want to do to embellish that. I did forget to put this little one on. Let's get him on here. Okay. Let that dry. I'll wipe some of that off. I got a big gunk on that one. I didn't mean to do. Okay. So then, now we'll go back. I am not one that usually will go and follow page by page either. I kind of just get an inspiration or a thought, and that's where we're going to head. So you never know. Okay, go back to here. Now I'm wondering if this, I think this would be a cute little, wouldn't that be cute on there with that color? So I have to decide. I don't know if I want this to really be a full journal or if I want it to be a journal lookbook combination, because I love lookbooks. So let's see here. What do I want to put on here? I'm going to make it a pocket. I can glue some of this on there and we can do that. So let's try that. And let's get out my pinking shears. And these aren't very big pockets. These are little pages. Let's see, I'll do that. And then I'll come up here. Let's see if I can find mine. There it is. A little punch. To notch it out. Let's see. Hello, Expression Artwork. Just popping on. I had to run out, so missed the beginning. Well, you make sure you go back and look at the replay on there. Okay. So I'm just grunging up just the edges of the pocket here, so I can get a little bit of the detail. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to glue that on here. Again, using my Fabri-Tac. I don't have to use my Fabri-Tac, but because I am using that fabric on there, I thought, oh well, heck, well, why not, right? So I usually use my art glitter glue. Okay, so we're going to put that right there. And then, that gets stuck down there. And then I'm going to take this sunflower and we're going to put it on the front of this. So that it kind of covers up that little opening. Leaves a little bit of mystery, what's behind there, right? So I have a couple of, let's see if I have them over here. So these, I got these really cute papers and stickers and things that I'm going to be using throughout this. Look at these, aren't these adorable? So this one here, it says Home Sweet Home. So maybe, let's see if it fits in here. I don't want it to get any glue on it. That'll fit just perfectly. So we'll let that dry. And then I'm going to put, I thought I'd put this little piece up here to be the little tie. Just a piece of ribbon. I'm going to cut it kind of short just to give it enough little decoration on there. So instead of making a full-blown tie on this one, we're going to do this. Okay. And it's going to come up. And I'm just going to do a little bit here. I don't know if I want to cover up the whole thing or not. Let's see. I think I'll just do a little shorter one here. Okay. And then, let's see if I can find a little button. And do I have buttons? I don't know if I've got enough buttons, you guys. Look at all these. One of my favorite things to do is to go through and find the buttons. Love doing that. But I pulled some out here before I got started. So let's see. This one here would be really cute on here. But let me see if I can get, I always have to make sure I have my wire cutters here. Got to get that shank off the back. Let's see if that'll work. I think I can make it work. I'm going to use some hot glue on this one. Then I'll hold it up here so you can all see what this one looks like. Press it down. Well, there, just a fun little tuck card. And I mounted this one, I cut it out of the cardstock and then I mounted it with a piece of the craft cardstock. So, I'm going to go ahead and we'll tuck this down in here. So that's that. There's the first page. I will come back and do something in this front portion. I'm not quite sure yet what I want to do. Now, on this one here, I have to show you something. So this is something that I am putting together, making, and these are kits, okay? So these are going to be available too on Thursday night, but I love these kits. So you're good enough in each kit to make three complete 3-layered sets. But I want to see if this is going to fit on here. And it's going to be snug, but I'm going to make it work. So let me show you what we're going to do. I am going to take this pretty piece of die cut paper that I had die cut out, and I'm going to glue this on. I love doing these things. Love it, love it, love it. And then I'm going to put that on there. Okay, now I could do it a little 3D, but I don't think I want to because this book's already pretty chunky. So there's the first layer. Isn't it pretty paper? And then the next layer is going to be this pretty one. So I'm going to put this right here in the middle. Just going to glue it on. Let's go with the other glue that's not so stinky. Button therapy. Oh, yes, Jill. Button therapy. It's the best, isn't it? Hi, Jamie. Let's see here. Okay, then I'm going to take, I think I'm going to try, I'm going to put this one next. Okay, so it's just these layers of these that I have got that I'm putting these kits together for. And then, okay, so there's, look what we got. Ain't that pretty, folks? Then I include in my little kit a button for each one that's going to go well with this. And I think I mixed it in with my other buttons. Oh my. Okay, so let me see. That was for the smaller ones. So this one here, I'm going to put this big brown button in the middle of it. Won't that be pretty? Aw, thank you, Kimmy. Okay. Now what I love about this is that I can do this same thing. So here's the other pieces to the kit. I can do the same thing with this and I can turn it, put it on a hang tag. But for this one, I just want it to be a centerpiece of my page. And I did see here, and I don't care if that's, you know, that's kind of a little bit long there, but it's going to just fold in. So now we're going to grunge it again, right? You can never have enough grunging if your name is Celeste. So how many of you, are you a grunger? Yes or no? Yes or no? So you're a grunger. You like to grunge things up? Thank you, Linda. Okay. Then I will probably come in a little bit, and I like to just get my first kind of centerpiece put down first, and then I come back and I decide what I want to do for any more embellishing. So on this one, I definitely can think that on this page it does have the flower. I think a piece of some of that crocheted ribbon or crocheted trim would look really pretty. And then I can take on this page, it's just the plain white, And I just like to do some swirls just to make it look a little bit inkied up. So it gives it some color. Can you see that? Okay. And then, let's see, we've got it this way. Let's go with, on this next one, I'm trying to decide, do I want or do I want? I'm going to look in here to these cute little chipboard. They're not chipboard, they're just cute little die cuts is what they are. So, now wouldn't this be cute to put this little doily in here? It kind of has the same shape, but I could even do a half of a doily on that and grunge that up. I've got this squirrel. Look at these pretty trees. All kinds of words. So up here, I'm going to do like give thanks, grateful, hello fall. It's definitely going to go on there. And has all kinds of these. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. So I could put like a half to make that like a pocket, using half of that doily, and then putting this little, oh my gosh, I talked myself into it. Definitely a grunger. Yes, Donna, me too. Jill, you are not a grunger. And, well, who else? Jamie's a grunger. Jill's not a grunger. Donna's definitely a grunger. Tina, is there a video I can watch how you started from the beginning? Yes, when we are done with this, you can go back and do replays for 30 days. And then I am also going to put this on my YouTube page so that it'll stay there forever and ever and ever. Because we all know that now on FB here, they only keep videos for us for 30 days. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some little grunging on this so I can just darken it up a little. Okay. And then we'll glue it on here. And let's see, maybe just a little dab of Fabri-Tac here. There, I'll just put a little bit on the points. It's enough to hold it in there. Okay. So this one here is going to be a cute little pocket that we can put inside here. The little doily. And then I'm thinking I'll come back through here maybe with a little piece of trim that we can do. What time we got? Oh, good, we got a half hour. We got a whole half hour. Oh my goodness sakes alive. I do have this green. It's a fall green, but I think that's maybe too much on that specific page. So let me see here. Let me see. What if I take a piece of my cutesy little, one of my strips that I did. Get it untangled. You can put a bow there. Okay, you want to be used, oh, I know what I'm going to put here. Let me see if this works better than the other. So I can either use this big pumpkin, which I think fits really well, or I can use a smaller little pebbly kind of a pumpkin. But it's the size don't work well on that. So let's grunge this little guy up here. Can you see these are just so fun to do these, aren't they? For those of you that have done them. And even if you haven't, if you're a scrapbooker, it's so similar. But, you know, you're just doing it in a smaller and a little bit different type of materials, maybe a little bit. But if you've never done it, I encourage you to give it a try. Even if you start out just doing it with 2 folded pieces of paper. Just do 2 folded pieces of paper and see what you can come up with. Okay, so there's that. Now you know, and I probably didn't leave enough room. Those of you that follow me, what do you think I'm looking for? Anybody know that I could put on here? Oh Oh my gosh, this thing just wants to fly all over. Let's see. If so, what color ink pads would you recommend starting with as a beginner? Donna, when I started, I grabbed the Distress Oxide from Tim Holtz. Now they're a little bit pricier because you can also get them in a smaller size. Okay, and I use these a lot. So they're a little bit less expensive. But the reason I like these is that these are permanent. Whereas some of my other ones that I use at times, like the acid-free ink pad, those there, if something would happen and it gets wet, it's gonna bleed a little bit. These won't, okay? But I start with the basics. I think I started with, like, I had a black, I had a walnut, I had a vintage photo, and then I got the tea dye, which is a brownish reddish. But that's what I started with. Now, I found my pearls. I don't know if I'm going to use these yet, because I think they would look really cute right at the top up here of this little pocket. Let's just see if we can make it work without it sticking all the way through. Let me put something under there. And do this under here. And let's try the hot glue on this. Let's see. I love these little half flat pearls. I realized the other day that I'm down to my last roll of them. So I'm going to have to be on the lookout because these were gifted to me by a friend. And I have no idea where she had gotten these. But I think, now that I just said that, her mother retired from Michaels. And that's where her mom, a lot of the stuff was from. Her mother has passed away. Okay, that'll work for now. That'll add something on there. Okay, so you got my little pearls on there. Now I'm going to add a phrase up here to the top. So let's see. It might be even cute to put one of these little stamps, but let's see what I want to do. That's too long. It's kind of cute. It says better together. Hello Fall. I know I saw that. It's kind of the same color, but I think it'll work really well. So let's go ahead. I'm going to grunge up the edge of this too. I just think that, especially when I do the edges, grunge it up in a different color, it helps whatever that is to stand out a little bit better. So that's my plan anyway. You can get the flat black beads from Michaels or Hobby. Oh, good. I didn't know I ever saw them at Hobby Lobby. But that's good to know. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, thank you. Okay. I'll just put this little guy up here just to bring something up here to the top. And then, let's see here. We could do, there's so much I can do. Like this looks like a little slide. It says you from this side. Aren't those cute? I'm going to really have fun, you guys, getting this one done. I really am. Of course, you know when I get it done, I'll be posting the whole thing and do a walkthrough for you, like I always do. But for now, we could even use something like one of these to be a little, let's see if this would look like to be a little tuck-in. Yeah, that'll look sweet. See it in there? So that's that page. Now we have 15 minutes, and I have to decide what I want on this one. Ho hum, fiddly-dum. So I love these paper leaves, so I might use some of those. I'm going to use a piece. Let me see what this would look like. I think I'll come up here with this yellow embroidered crochet and just make a little trim up here at the top. And we'll just put that up to kind of make a little border on the top of this. Something there. Okay, now I'm wondering if, oops, a little glue. What do I want to put in here? I know one thing I want to make before we get off. And I maybe should do that now before we run out of time. But have you ever made tuck cards out of old old button cards? I think they are the cutest thing. And so I'm going to take this button card and I'm actually going to, the front side of this one is a little, but look at this. Would this not be the cutest just to leave it like it is? As a button card in this type of a little, hi Rosalind, of a little fall journal. So now I got too many choices for myself to think through. But look at this one here. Here's another new, oh, that one I thought would be just fun even with the, hey, here's what I'm doing. I'm taking this glue, or this pretty little sunflower, and I'm going to glue it here in the middle of this button card. Fun, and then it's got the foil backing, so it looks like I did it on purpose, you know. And how cute. It goes with this color so perfect. And then the back can be used for journaling, for just a tuck card. I was thinking the single line of buttons on a card would make a cute hidden paper clip. Martha, that would be cute. But there's one little card we've got. And you know, maybe we'll come over here and we'll do another little, let's see. Do I want to do a belly band over down here on this side? Because I did one over on the back side. This is kind of a fun little, let's try this and just see. I don't know if I like it or not. It has a little, just a minute, she's saying. Gosh, I got so many pretty colors in this. That's what I used on the other one. That one there. But let's see if we use this one here. And then will it work to do a little, oh, it will. That will be cute. And we can do it, I'm going to do a little cattywampus so that it's going to hold it better. Okay, so we'll glue that up there, and then I'll come down here. I think I left enough space, and we'll do another one here. Gosh, this has been so much fun. I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. If not, don't tell me. Okay, and then we'll put that little tuck card right down inside here, kind of at an angle. And you can see part of the sunflower, but there we go. That'll be a tuck card there. And then, let's see. Oh, here's another pretty one. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Now this one here could be its own little tuck space all by its lonesome. And that's what I'm going to do with this. So I'm going to take and I'm going to, let's go with a little different shade of brown on the grunge on this one. This one is more of the vintage yellow or vintage photo, but it has more of a little yellowish tone. So I'm putting it on kind of heavy because I want it to darken up this page like it looks like it was actually supposed to be this way. Okay, then that little chair. I think this would be really cute if we grunge it up. Now, because I did that, I wanted to go back to the darker to go around the edge of this. Okay. And this one I'm going to take. Now I could put it on a little card and a little backing, but because this is just a tiny little book, I don't want to have to overwhelm it too much because we got so much other stuff already on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this be a little miniature tuck, and I'll show you why. Let's see, we want to go there and about halfway up here. Okay, and we're going to put that down here, right? Kind of get him settled there in his little fireplace chair. And then on these tags, I had some little ones. And I want to see what I did with those. Let's see here. That's too big and that's too big. There we go. Look at this little page of tags. And they're just little. So what if I take this, and I think this would be so cute. It's a little fox curled up sleeping, and I'm going to stick him inside the fireplace to warm up. Okay. Oh, I can't see what Renee said there. Let me see here. Renee, are those the rub-on transfers? These are not. These come from this cute little book from Simple Stories. And look at all of these luscious pages of goodness in here. And this is a 6x8 pad. I like those little pads because so often, you know, we cut the big pages out because we don't need the whole thing, and then you got hunks of these pages just sticking in my little file, and I kind of like it better if I can just get as much of it used up at the get-go. But if not, they're small enough to where they can make me some more tags. Okay. Now this one has the cutest little tiny hole in it, so I'm going to have to embrace that little hole here if I can find where I put my, there we go. I'm going to make this one have a little tie, okay? So look at that cute little hole at the top. Aren't those cute? Okay, so there we've got that, and then I have to just decide here real quick what I want. Okay, guys, you guys are I'm gonna show you what else I have. Do any of you have a jar of thread puddles? I have a jar of thread puddles because all of these luscious pieces of fabric that I'm tearing into my little strips for my fall bundles have lots of strings, and I want to put them to good use, you know. So I'm thinking maybe I'll try this little thread puddle here. It had green and brown in it. Don't you think that you could, if you're not a thread puddle collector, and if you don't think I'm totally crazy for doing this, I just have fun watching. Oh, Jill, I know that's half the fun, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to take this now, and I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to stick it through here, and I'm going to make this little thread puddle be the tie at the top of this little. And I'll show you this tag in just a second. I think I already did, but the little foxes. Renee, I bet you have little foxes up there in your area, don't you? And it's just a scraggly little tie. Okay. So there's the tie, and then there's the little fox all curled up. And we're going to tuck him right down here inside that fireplace. So when whoever pulls that out, they're going to have a nice little surprise. Okay. Now I do think this would be a nice little spot for a decorative button to fit in here. And I'm thinking maybe up here at the top. Let's see what we have here. I've got some. You know what color I do like to incorporate into my fall color and fall things? Is I like to incorporate blues, like dark blues, like navy blues. So if I have the right shade that I would want, I could do that with this, with something else. But let me see. We've got, that's pretty. Got this mustard colored something. I think it needs to be more of a contrast. Here's one. It's kind of a red berry color. This might be kind of pretty to just stick over here like it's just hanging out there in thin air. Because sometimes that's a good thing. Okay. And we'll just put him up here a little bit. And then maybe I'll find a smaller one that I can use to put down at the bottom. I don't want it that matchy, so maybe I won't. And this is where I go into my overthink mode. Overthink, but I love this button. It's going to get in here somewhere. It's one of those kind of a blue, but look at the front of that. So for right now, we'll leave it just like this, okay? So far we've got the cover. We've got that little first page with the hang tag. We've got this page here with the little tag. We've got this with the 3D layered flower. Eggplant, yes, that's a good one too. We've got this one, and then we've got that made from the button card. So, and then we have this one back here that we put in earlier. That was the little house belly band. So that's kind of where we're at here. Now look at this amazing vintage button. Isn't that cool? So you know this is going in here. Let's see, where do we want to go next? Okay. Now I really would like to use some of these little stickers. And look at this. Maybe this will be a cute one to do. I've got a porcupine, I've got a squirrel, I've got a raccoon, I've got a fox, I've got a turkey. We can just look at all the wild things here. And so maybe I'm going to just put some of them on here and we'll just have fun with this. So let's just say I take a piece of this, I kind of like this plaid, kind of a navy blue and gold and green in there. So what if we take some of this, and I'm just going to put a strip. I don't know even what I'm going to do here, but it'll be something. Okay, and then I'm going to take it and I'm just going to put some glue down here. And I'm just going to take and come up here at the top with it and just kind of scrunch it in a little bit to get the rest of it on. Okay. All right, so we've got that. Martha, pink and with fall too. Ooh, that'd be pretty. That would be pretty. Hi, Cheryl. How are you, my friend? So we've got that. And then what if I just come on top of this little hunk of something and put one of our cute little, maybe our little raccoon. Let's see what he would look like. Just, oh, he's so cute. Okay, let me get him grunged around the edges first, because we are in the grunge zone. Okay, isn't he cute? And we're going to just set him down here at the bottom of this page. Get him stuck on there. And this isn't going to be a belly band. This is just going to be something. Something. Okay. And then up here, let's see, what other color do I want to use? This is kind of a fun one. Let's see what this would look like matched up with that other across the page. That's kind of a pretty one. What if we put him, I'm going to do him over here on this side. Make it a little longer so we can scrunch him up. More colors, more textures, just for the fun of it. think I've got something in the middle of this table that's got a little bump. And I'm not sure what it is. Okay, so I'm going to scrunch that one up. Hold it down. I'll be back to finish watching. Off to dinner. Enjoy your dinner, my friend. Okay, then we've got this one. So that's what we've done so far. Got those two. It's kind of crooked, but that's okay because maybe that'll look like trees. Who knows, right? And then on this one here, I'm going to do, I might have to do the porcupine up here or the squirrel. Porcupine or the squirrel. Let's see. Just for fun, I'm just going to put this porcupine up there because it's just different. Okay, and a little dab of glue here. And we'll stick him up here. So they're like friends in their little make-believe forest that we have here. And then I'm going to come back through here. And I don't know if I have a big enough button for down here that kind of I'd like. So I'm going to wait and we'll figure out what I want to put on here. But I definitely think I'm going to put this square one over here to go with this square plaid. But that just gives us a good start, okay? So that's where we're starting on him, but we got more to finish. And we're going to just have that be the fun little All the Wild Thing page. I do have these cute little hearts. Now, these would look cute, so let me get them on. Little bitty hearts that we can put here in the middle. And where'd the other ones go? There's one. So y'all, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this, and make sure you go back and watch the replay if you need to figure out how to do some things. And make sure you're following Lolly and Friends page and posting all of your goodies on that, and then following my Moments with Celeste page. And other than that, I hope you all have a good evening. Got a couple minutes here, but I think I can probably go ahead and pop off of here. I don't want to leave a gap for her. I know that that's not always fun, especially if something else planning to go. So let me just give it about another minute. Oh, those little hearts sure added, didn't they? Are they cute? Nice to meet you, Kimmy, and hope to see you again sometime. Nice to meet all of you that's your first time with me. And for those of you that aren't following, like I said, Lolly, you get on there and follow Lolly because she's a sweet, sweet lady. And we're going to talk to you again soon. I'm sure we'll see you before long. Don't forget my sale Thursday night on Moments with Celeste at 6:30 Central. Bye-bye, everybody.